If you've paid attention to the player counts of the Hive or CubeCraft at any point in the past year, you'd probably know that they are the largest Minecraft Bedrock Edition servers by far. Like, if you just take a look at a graph of all of the other Bedrock featured servers, you'll see that it's just not even close. This then brings up the question of, what are the Hive and CubeCraft doing differently? Why do they have more players than every other server combined? In this video, I'm going to attempt to answer those questions and talk about what the Hive and CubeCraft are doing right, what they're doing differently from each other while still achieving similar results, and try to break down why I think the Hive and CubeCraft are so successful. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're a fan of my content, and enjoy. So, I've got a little bit of a disclaimer that I usually make in these types of videos where I'm comparing the Hive to something else. I usually play on the Hive, and I would consider it to be my main server. I don't hate CubeCraft, and I actually play on it from time to time, but I definitely have more experience on the Hive, and I just know more about the server. Also, please note that this isn't really supposed to be a server review video. I've done reviews of both servers already, and if you want to go check those out, you can. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about some things that I see both servers doing that are contributing to their success in a major way. One of the main and probably more obvious ones is the fact that the Hive and CubeCraft both have servers for different regions. On the Hive, there are servers for North America, Europe, and Asia regions, and on CubeCraft, there are servers for North America and Europe as well. Other than Galaxite, no other Bedrock featured servers have different regions for the players to play on, but the fact that the Hive and CubeCraft have them means that they can appeal to larger amounts of players who want to play on lower ping. Yes, I know CubeCraft doesn't have an Asian region, and I know a lot of players would want one, but I would honestly expect that that's something that might happen in the future. Now, another thing that I think both servers have that contributes to their success is the fact that they both have quite a lot of high quality games. For example, they each have your classic Bed Wars style game, with CubeCraft having Egg Wars and Hive having Treasure Wars, and they both also have survival games and Skywars, with Hive having more modified versions of them and CubeCraft having more classic versions. All of the games that I just talked about are the insanely popular games on the servers that retain players and keep them coming back. Also, all of those games were the PvP game modes, but not everyone likes to PvP. These servers, however, also have game modes for people that don't want to PvP. On the Hive, there's games like Just Build, Death Run, Hide and Seek, and Murder Mystery, where CubeCraft has games like Parkour, Skyblock, and Minerware, their party games game mode. By having games that are both PvP and non-PvP related, both servers can appeal to a wider audience and draw in more players. Again, this is why both servers also have multiple server regions. They can appeal to a larger audience instead of just a certain niche. Now, I know I already talked about this next reason in the Hive versus Hypixel video that I did a while back, but I think another reason why the Hive and CubeCraft are so popular is because they're already popular. Let me explain. If you're a completely new player to Minecraft, and you're trying to figure out which server to play on first, you'll likely click on the server with the most players just because you would imagine that would probably be the server with the best reputation. This just becomes a cycle of new players joining the server because they see it has a high player count, enjoying their experience and continuing to play, and adding to the player count, making more new players join and play. You could probably also make the case that both Hive and CubeCraft have name recognition for being around in the Minecraft server community for years, and as a result, more players join just because they know that these servers have a good reputation. I don't know how true this actually is, and I don't know how often it actually happens, but the Hive and CubeCraft both have really high player counts, so I would assume it at least happens occasionally. Now, you know what I said about players continuing to play the server because they enjoy their experience, right? I kind of want to emphasize that a little bit more as well. Both the Hive and CubeCraft just simply work a lot better than most other Bedrock Edition servers. Again, maybe with the exception of Galaxite, every other featured server has at least some major issue. These issues could be anything from insane lag to unplayable game modes, or maybe a combination of both if you're a beach-themed server. On CubeCraft and the Hive, however, this isn't really a thing, and again, both of the servers just work well. Obviously, there's occasional hiccups on both servers. They sometimes crash or have lag issues or whatever, but it's nowhere near as bad or as frequent as most of the other Bedrock featured servers. This, again, just makes a way better experience for the player, and it's why the Hive and CubeCraft have higher player counts than other servers. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about that I see both servers doing right is the fact that both of them have relatively frequent updates and are transparent about their updates as well. Before you say something about the Hive's Sonic update, I should probably say that I kind of mean updates over time. Both the Hive and CubeCraft have done that consistently, and there's almost always new content being released on the server. Examples of this could be the Hive's Sonic Sonic update releasing about a month ago, and then a new game that's coming soon displayed in the hub. For CubeCraft, their Battle Arena game mode released a few months ago, and then their Parkour game mode released a month or two ago as well. Consistent updates like these are just one more reason why more people choose to play on the Hive and CubeCraft over other servers. I also mentioned that both servers are relatively transparent about their updates as well, and what I mean by that is the fact that both servers have an update page both on their website and in their Discord servers. Now, obviously, CubeCraft and the Hive are different servers from each other, and as a result are going to do things a little bit differently. I want to take this second part of the video to talk about why the Hive and CubeCraft stand out from each other while both still finding success. Let's first start off with the Hive. I think the Hive's main claim to fame on Bedrock Edition is their approach of quality over quantity. All of their game modes are really high quality and are thought out really well, while also still just having a unique twist on them so that they aren't the generic version of the game. Let's take survival games as an example. It seems like an extremely simple game on the surface, but once you look at it a little bit more, you'll see things like boomboxes, activity trackers, and launch pads, which all give this version of survival games the Hive touch. There's also Skywars, which you see in the background gameplay, where I've been mining ores for half the game to try and get better stuff. It's not what your typical Skywars game looks like, but it's the Hive's version of Skywars, and it's a little bit more unique. Another thing that I think the Hive does really well in is content creation and the support of it. Call me biased because I'm a Hive YouTuber, but tell me what other Bedrock Edition servers have more content creators playing and more views going to the server. There simply just isn't one. As for the reason why the Hive outperforms every other server in content creation, I'm not entirely sure. I guess the partner ranks are relatively easy to get and maintain, and this means that the community is more involved with the content that creators put out. Now, let's move on to CubeCraft and what I think they are doing right. Obviously, on CubeCraft, there are a lot more games than on the Hive. I would say, however, that these games are a little bit more generic, though. This, however, isn't a bad thing. When the games are simple, literally everyone can understand and play them, and it's more friendly for newer players. I will say, however, that I think one game mode that's not very generic is actually Egg Wars. As compared to normal Bed Wars, I feel like Egg Wars has a lot more stuff in it and requires a lot more thinking. Egg Wars is also a classic Minecraft game mode and has kind of been around for as long as I can remember at this point, and I feel like the fact that CubeCraft has it actually draws in quite a lot of players. It's just an OG game that's really in demand. I did talk about CubeCraft having more games though, and I mentioned earlier that this means that CubeCraft has something for everyone. You want to play a certain type of duel? You can. You want to play Mega Egg Wars? You most certainly can do that as well. There's something for every style of gameplay on CubeCraft, and I think that's why so many people choose the server even over the Hive. The possibilities, while maybe not endless, are still really large as a result of all of the content being on the server, and I think that's CubeCraft's main reason for their immense success in the past few months. All in all, I think both the Hive and CubeCraft are doing really well for themselves right now, and I think there's plenty of room for even more growth in the future. What are your thoughts on the Hive and CubeCraft? Let me know what you think and why in a comment on this video. That's gonna be it for this video from me though, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. I tend to do quite a lot of analysis like I did in this video in some of my other content, so if you enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy most of the other videos on my channel as well. Also, before we end, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my YouTube channel members. They support me for $4.99 a month, and they get some cool perks like getting their names displayed at the end of every video. If you'd like to check out what other perks they have, or become a member for yourself, you can do so by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, or by clicking the members link in the description. Thank you once again to all of my generous channel members, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.